dirty. And we do have... Wow!
Oh no!
You gotta be kidding
Oh
me.
my goodness!
Back where it all began. Back at Daytona International Speedway. Of course, in a much more different scenario and with a much more different field that we started back in February. Which, in turn, because this is so late in the playoffs, makes this race a very important one and also a very exciting and scary one at the same time for both drivers and teams. The Daytona 500 was an exciting race, so let's see if these drivers could pull a one better. But before we can do that, however, we have to go through pre-qualifying first. As we come live here at the Daytona International Speedway for round 27 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series, race 5 of the playoffs. Hello everybody, my name is Alexander Vitale. Welcome back once again to Daytona International Speedway, and there's quite the weekend here for Daytona because real quick. The Lenovo Pro Series started recently over at AG, and yesterday was the first ever race of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. So, yeah, let's hope that, of course, good luck to everybody involved in the series, myself included, with Emily. But I digress. Let's not talk about the Turkey Hill Truck Series. We need to talk about this, the PSRLA and the task at hand. Of course, immediate favorites, all Toyotas, the Aegis cars, which they're going to be all three of them this time. There's the OSC cars. God forbid if I'll ever learn the how to say that. BB Ray's couldn't have picked a much more harder name, could it? But anyway, no offense. But anyway, jokes aside. This is very important because not only this race is so deep in the playoffs, but also because Talladega is not that far away. So if something goes bad at Daytona, chances are that you may not be. Because the thing is, if things go bad at Daytona, they have to be good at Talladega. Otherwise, your playoff run might be over, or if not, the run towards the rest of the rest championship. That's pretty much the main reason why I said that this race is both exciting and scary, because this is a super speedway. Anything can happen, and as you saw at the Daytona 500 earlier in the year, yeah, we're in for some pretty good racing, for some really, really tense racing, because again, we're so late in the playoffs, but that's the beauty of the sport, isn't it? And I know somebody's gonna make the joke of, yes, it's gonna be better than the actual real life race, but I digress. Well, let's not talk about that. But anyway, in terms of pre-qualifying, as I stated, there's gonna be William Donuts in the 07 Aegis Motorsports car, but outside of him, there is absolutely nothing left. There's no news. It's the remaining field. It's been the pre-qualifying field that has been for. I have forgotten how many weeks it has been. It's always been the same guy. It's been the same 6 guys. And yes, I guess I should talk about the elephant in the room, and that is that I am sick. I was a lot more sick yesterday, but today I was able to recover a little bit, and now I can record. But yeah. But outside of Donuts, it's basically exactly the same. So we got 7 pre-qualifying drivers to attempt pre-qualifying for the main event. But yeah. Since there's pretty much nothing else to be said, I say, let's get on with the show, folks. And Jack Haas will be the first one out on pit road. Jack Haas' first trip to Daytona ever since last year, I think. Yeah, ever since last year. Back when Haas was driving against Kyle Sharp at DM Motorsports. There's Tanner Pardon. 2 consecutive DNFs in a row. The DNQ, sorry. As now Haas is going to start his first actual lap here at Daytona in a year. Somebody else has left the track. Hunter Mendoza does. So did Samaralskin. Let's see if Oscar can actually qualify for another race. Jack Haas into 3 and 4. Through he goes. And for Haas, it's going to be a 45.2 for the 50 car. As now, you saw that RB Garner leads. Tanner Barton should be the next one doing a lap. And the answer is 44.9 for Tanner Barton. Of course, Mendoza has to do a lap. Bradley Ream, I would assume he has to do a lap. He has to do his starting lap. Now let's see if Haas can improve his time. And of course, right behind him, someone else who's on a flyer. And now Haas decides to abort a lap. There goes Altsken, and Altsken goes top of the leaderboard, 43.7. Good speed from the 88 car. There's Bradley Ream. There's also William Donuts, as Santo Mendoza goes third fastest, 48.8. Let's see what Bradley Ream is going to do. And Ream does 44.6. Currently is in third. There's William Donuts. Of course, him and RB Gardner are the last that have to score a time. Let's see if Oscar can improve his time. Top of the leaderboards. And the answer is no, he does not. In the meantime, let's look at Donuts. Actually, where is Gardner? There he is. Gardner's gonna actually complete first. And Gardner goes top of the leaderboards. 24.3 for Gardner. Let's see what Donuts does. And 23.4 for William Donuts as Jack Haas leaves the pits. Right now, Ante Mendoza and Jack Haas are out of qualifying. As Haas leaves the pits. Let's see if Haas can answer back to the attacks of Gardner and Donuts. And the answer happens to be nope, he does not. There's Gardner, followed by Tanner Parton. And Parton actually improves his time to the point he jumps up to the top of the leaderboards, 42.9, using the draft from from Gardner, sorry. As Mendoza is in 6th. There's Bellerin in 5th on the outskirts of DNQ at the danger zone. As Haas now scores his flyer. There's Oskin. Right now he's in 4th. Does improve his time? No. Let's see if Garner and Parton can improve their times. And they do. They're pretty close. Garner goes top of the leaderboards. 42.529 for Garner and 42.943 for Parton. Of course, both of them are using the draft from each other, basically doing a NASCAR fun and EA NASCAR tactic to get some blistering laps. And of course, William Donuts is in 3rd, but then again, the Aegis cars have been shown to be really good at super speedways. In fact, 6/10 behind. In fact, 4th is someone else can almost 6/10 behind, and I doubt that unless Otskin gets a drafting partner, I doubt he'll be able to catch up to the top 3. As neither of them are able to improve their times again, Garner and Parton. Now Donuts looked like he had a drafting partner, but they just completely avoid Mendoza. As Jack Haas, but a drafting partners. He improves his time, but he's still dead last, 45.1. and quite far away from Hunter Mendoza, who was also in danger of not qualifying. 3 minutes and a half left on the clock, and no improvement on these two. As Donuts leaves back to the pits. Mendoza, he does not improve his time. There's Asken and Haas. Does Reem improve his time? And the answer, he does improve his time, but still quite far away from Mendoza. Actually, no, Mendoza is now out of qualifying. I mean, he's in qualifying. Brady Reem and Jack Haas are out of qualifying. Actually, never mind. Mendoza didn't improve his time. No, wait. No, I'm what I'm talking about. I'm a little sick, so apologies for the confusion. Well, I get confused even when I'm healthy, so I guess that's not a surprise. But in the meantime, the qualifying is pretty much dominated by the leading the trio of Gardner, Parton, and Mendoza, two Chevrolets, and Parton, Gardner, and Donuts, two Chevrolets and a Toyota. As Reem is still in 6th. Mendoza, who had an amazing qualifying session at Watkins Glen 2 weeks ago, now he's trying to qualify here for Daytona for the second to last super speedway race. 2 minutes left on the clock, and Pardon manages to improve his time even further. 42.4 for Tanner Pardon. Of course, they missed Savanowska, so this lap time is definitely screwed. But Pardon improves his time, I would assume. So did Gardner, but Pardon did a much better job, and right now he's on top of the leaderboards. As now Samanowskan looks to be joining his other manufacturer mates. Right now he's in 4th, and he does improve his time a little bit, but of course we'll have to see what kind of improvement is he going to do as Asken decides to get the draft from his teammate rather than a manufacturer mate. Which makes sense, come on. I mean, it's better actually being given the draft from it's better to use the draft from your teammate than from another stranger. Although the side by side, Asken is unable to clear Pardon, so that's definitely gonna make his time suffer. Let's see. And across the line Asken goes, and he goes third fastest, 42.7. So not that bad anyway. Only followed the draft for like 2 corners, but it was more than enough. Actually, no, 3 corners and 3 corners and a half, because he has been following them since turn 4 at the last clock time clock. But yeah. In the meantime, there's William Donuts all alone, and no improvement. There's Jack Haas, who right now is going to DNQ alongside Riley Reem. As now we hit overtime. Let's see what else can he going to do, and no improvement. No, he does improve, but still in 3rd. As now Asken wants to get clear of his teammate. Now Pardon can choose as the difficult choice, and he's going to deal with Asken, as they're about to reach Jack Haas. But I doubt that, even with share drafting, if we have to use a term from the EA NASCAR games, I doubt it'll be of any effect. Yep, not enough time to do anything significant for Jack Haas qualifying. So Haas and Reem will be out. Both Jacoban cars will be out of the race tomorrow. And this is going to be for pre-qualifying. And so, Tanner Pardon, Aubrey Gardner, Simon Oskin, William Donuts, Hunter Mendoza will be the 5 drivers to make it to qualifying, while Bradley Ream and Jack Haas, both Tacoma cars, are out for the count. See you in the next weekend. And with that, see you in qualifying. And Aubrey Gardner will be the first one out of pit road. And looks like to be the only one. There goes Brendan Beal, Guillermo Vidal, also Anthony Nicol are leaving the pits. Of course, as we stated, yesterday was the first race of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. So, let's hope for a fun series and for a fun championship battle. Especially considering that they got a brand new rating system, apparently. So let's see how that's going to shake up the packing order. As some of sure. Aubrey Gardner is going to start his banker lap. He started his flying lap. Oh god, I'm sorry, but still, I think, I'm sick. But it's the third time that I say it. But yeah. In any case, more drivers are completing their banker times. There's Jeffrey Finguy, championship leader. There's Reggie Fogelman behind Mo Vidal. Let's see what time Gardner is going to do. Although I would assume not that quick, judging by the bank times. But he's got Jeffrey Finguy to deal with, and now Jeffrey Finguy, never mind, he wants to deal with it immediately. And of course, Paul did not last long because Anthony Nicol now is in pole position. First with Cameron Modell. Now, Brendan Beal is on pole position as more drivers are leaving the pits. There's Nathan Stapleton, there's Eric Monaco, there's William Ayers. As it's St. Davidson goes second fastest, Troy Williams Jr. goes third fastest. Of course, more drivers are going to score the banker times. Another 58 of Skylar Taylor is now in provisional pole position. 41.7 for the OSC driver. Of course, in the draft from a bunch of cars, including his team, including their teammate in Joshua Neely. Then, actually, yeah, it's a OSC 1-2 right now, as Taylor does it away with Alexander Rowe, or at least tries to. And now Brendan Beal is now back in second place. Brendan Beal, who has a bit of a chip of he has to deal with a chip of his shoulder here at Daytona, considering that he did not qualify for the race. So of course he will love to have a good result here. I mean, right now he's in regardless, but because he's in the top 45 in points, because his car is in the top 45 in owners points, but still, I think he will have a good qualifying effort. As it's still OSC racing, it's still Toyota at the top row. Then it's Angel Gutierrez in third. Angel Gutierrez, who's using the draft from Alexander Rowe. Then is Richard Fogelman, Philip Torres. Then is Alexander Rowe in sixth, Troy Williams Jr. in seventh, Tom Sloan in eighth, Andrew Williams in ninth, and Zane Davis in 10th. And now Leonard Koshmar takes provisional pole, 30.7 for the Serbian driver, as Gutierrez takes second place away from the Toyotas of Neely and Taylor. And now Alexander Rowe takes third place as Avery Alpha goes third, 9th fastest. And Giannis D'Amelio goes 8th fastest. Shout out to Giannis D'Amelio right now. He's having a really good qualifying effort. But right now he has lost the draft, so he's definitely going to struggle now. There is Blaine Keys just passing by as Carson Miller almost had a very close in hitting the wall. As Jonathan Carrison is now in 10th. Pretty much the top 10 is a good chunk of the top 10 is here right now, bar Fogelman and D'Amelio and Alford. and Torres. As now catch up to Blaine Keys. As now Gutierrez goes second fastest, 2/10 slower than the OSC drivers, unfortunately. And can Skeletally improve their times? Now they're 6th and 7th, I just noticed. As Al Anderson Jr. goes 5th. There's, of course, the Aegis Motorsports cars. The Aegis finished 1-2 at Daytona, so of course they gotta be considered amongst the favorites. Yes, I know, it's another of my team, so a little bit of bias, but still. You cannot deny that that happened. But in the meantime, there's someone else getting into the pits. There's Bryce Egan. Bryce Egan currently is in... where is Bryce Egan? Bryce Egan is currently in... I lost him. Bryce Egan currently is in 24th. Ooh, bit of a moment there. Ooh! Josh Renewley blown an engine. So, Josh Renewley has blown an engine. So, extra time at the workshop for OSC. Ooh, even that got damage. So I guess he had to be involved in the wreck with the skid marks. But I guess you can call it a lucky charm, because at least whatever difficulties that engine might have had, it should be all gone by the race. But in the meantime, Leonard Koshmar still a surprising pole position for the 99 car. As now William Donuts goes 7th fastest, and okay, William Donuts and Bruno Giacomo are 7th and 8th. Anderson is in 9th. There's Calasostra in 6th. There's Anderson in 9th. Neely is in 10th. D'Amelio is currently in 17th. Still a very good performance from D'Amelio. As now the Giacomo and Sloan get into the pits. So does Zachary Fitzwater. Actually, might as well check out where the rest of the playoff drivers are. So of course, Koshmar is in pole. Then we got Davidson in 5th. Then we got Carrington in 13th. Then we got Egan in 15th. Troy Williams Jr. in 16th. Then we got Fogelman in 19th. Torres in 20th. Stapleton in 22nd. Then Movedel down in 24th. In the meantime, did something change at the top? No. But now, Torres is now 23rd. Gutierrez, sure. Actually, Movedel is in 24th. Andrew Williams in 26th. Trevor Kron Jr. is in 28th. And Jeffrey Finga is in 32nd. So not a good result for the championship leader. And yeah, that's basically all of them, yes. And Blaine Keys running up the rear of the field. Blaine Keys and Samaratskan running up the rear of the field. Of course, let's focus a little bit on Leonard Koshmar. Right now, nobody's been able to... Never mind, William Donuts. Just as I was about to say that, William Donuts almost makes it a challenge on Leonard Koshmar's leadership. But still, 1/10 away to get pole position. And there's only 1 minute left on the clock. Oh, that must have been a big wreck now that I see more of the skid marks. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that... Nearly blew his engine. That must have been a big wreck. I'm going to guess he made contact with somebody and then he spun into the wall? But in the meantime, Koshmar using the draft from Carson Miller. Let's see if he's going to prove his time to at least put some sort of safety gap from Donuts. And the answer looks to be no. Actually, where is Carson Miller? Carson Miller currently is in 22nd. And actually, where is Brendan Beal? Brendan Beal is in 33rd. So not a good qualifying session for Beal's first time in anger. Actually no. His first official time at Daytona in a Cup car, because I know somebody's gonna mention the actually no, the duels will count for points, so I guess those account for official races now. So never mind, I guess. But in the meantime, it looks the situation is not gonna change. So it's gonna be Leonard Koshmar, William Donuts, Zane Davidson, Carlos Ostrai, Gutierrez, Alexander Rowe, Tom Sloan, Bruno Giacomo, Roberto Crown Jr. has jumped out back to 9th, and Avery Alford up to 10th. And 30 seconds of overtime left. This is it. One final attempt for everybody to improve their lap times. There is Skylar Taylor, the winner at Talladega, and no improvement. And we focus on the Koshmar as qualifying comes to an end. In this moment, Elena Koshmar, by complete surprise, takes pole position at the Visit Florida 400 at Daytona. Second alongside him will be William Donuts. Then it will be with Dane Davidson, Carlos Ostrai, Angel Gutierrez, Alexander Rowe, Tom Sloan, Bruno Giacomo, Roberto Crown Jr., and Avery Alford. And running up the rear of the field will be Zachary Fitzwater and Sabat Oskin. Now, in terms of playoff drivers, Koshmar, of course, is in first, Davidson is in third. Then is Crown is in 9th. Then is Carrison is in 16th. Egan is 18th. Stapleton in 19th. Troy Williams Jr. in 20th. Philip Torres in 23rd. Andrew Williams in 24th. Fogelman in 25th. Bobadell in 27th. Then is Jeffrey Finguy in 38th. And that's all accounting for them. And so, Leonard Koshmar and William Donuts will take the green flag for the second race at Daytona. One, a big surprise, the other, not so much. And unfortunately, Zachary Fitzwater will be starting in the field in the race in 39th, while Sabanowska will start in 40th, a position he's all too familiar with. But, yeah, there's pretty much nothing else to be said other than this is going to be a very, very exciting race, and a scary race as well. So let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. But from Daytona, this is all for now. This has been a special edition of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series for the 47 Network. I'm Alex Vitale, and see you tomorrow for the race. So long, everybody, from Daytona.